I have some grosgrain ribbon, fabric, and the clutch with the strap. Let's make this cute little open-toed shoe. You draw your pattern on the lining, and now I'm assuming that you have made a practice shoe to make sure it fits and how much you need to cut off. I've sewn around the curve, the top of the one side, and the open toe. This is still open. You'll notice that I did sew on the pencil lines, and I cut a little less than 1/4. But on the places that I did not sew a seam, I cut exactly on my pencil lines. I cut at the corner, and I made the clips at all the curves, and I'm ready to turn it. Go ahead and turn that corner first. Now we're going to pull it through. You're going to pull it through at the curve of the toe, and I'm using tweezers. And there you go. I'm going to go press it. If you want the bottom of this covered, rather than having the card or whatever you put as your inner sole, you just put it on a piece of fabric and just glue it. And I think I'm gonna make one more pair of sandals just with ribbons, and I'll show you how to do that. I have zigzagged around the edges, and on the folded in one I have made a top stitch so that it will look nice from the outside. Now I did use the tacky glue for this because I had to keep kind of moving around so I would get it evenly spaced. You can use a glue gun, but you really got to know where you're going to put that if you're going to use the glue gun. So I think I had about a 1/2 inch right here and maybe a 1/4 of an inch there. But I really just eyeballed it. So you're putting your glue on the corner there, pressing it down equally. Like I said, just eyeball it and get it equal. And see, I can move it around a little bit. I'm going to look at it from this side. And my little card has kind of a horizontal area or of little designs. And I'm going to move it down just a little bit more so that it'll match the other shoe. And I'll let that dry. I'm going to glue this side first. I put the outer sole on, and I'm having to press a little bit where the fabric meets the cardboard or the paper, so there won't be any gaps. Now if you want to cover, say if you're making sandals or the open toe shoes, and you want to cover the inner sole. Just glue your card onto the fabric. And in order to make the sandals out of ribbons, I put some painter's tape on the bottom of the doll's foot, and so the inner sole stays put. I went ahead and crisscrossed the ribbon, and I did both so that they'd be the exact same size, and I used hot glue. I'm just going to place the ribbon on and glue it to the bottom of the shoe, like that. I don't make the sandals very often because they just don't stay on. See how they're floppy. But if you can put a little ponytail tie and sew it by hand, maybe put a bead on there, a gold bead or something, then that helps them stay on just a little better. Okay, let's do a purse. And this was the clutch bag, and I love this design and the feel of it. It looks like leather, of course it's not. And if you want to get really easy, you could just fold it a little bit, glue it, or cut it off and glue it, put it on her arm and call it a day. But if your game, we'll make it a little bit more interesting, but first we have to deconstruct. I only disassembled a little bit of it. I took the strap out, which was easy, and I just took apart a little, maybe a third. Make sure you can't see it because it's dark. Hold on. Make sure you make a few stitches, and this is at the bottom of the zipper. I have inadvertently unzipped it, and it is really hard to get back together, so make sure you do that. And you see I've gone this far with disassembling, and what I'm going to do is cut this much off. I turned it to the inside and sewed up the side, and I sewed the corners. That looks like about 1/4 of an inch, so it would sit kind of flat. And this is what you do with the zipper. You just kind of fold it down and open up the zipper and turn it to the other side. You can see just by doing the corners gives it a little bit more shape and gives it kind of a bottom. I'm going to hand sew the rest of it and hot glue it, just because I don't want to risk breaking my sewing machine or my sewing mechanism. I'm going to straighten these up and hot glue that, hot glue this, and you see that this will come over. I'll put a stylish little button somewhere on here, and I'm going to hand sew and hot glue these straps on. And here it is. And I just hot glued it. I decided the doll would not be digging around in it and have the wear and tear that people do. So I just hot glued it. And this is a little ponytail tie and a fancy button. And right here I'm going to finish this off by putting a strip of the ribbon.